Hey, it's Patrick Grosser with Fathom Realty, and this is your Cincinnati real estate market news for week 43 of 2021. We're going to take a look at the numbers for this past week and compare them to the same week last year in 2020, see how we measure up, and we're also going to look at 3 strategies that you can utilize in the off-season here in the fall and winter in the Cincinnati real estate market, whether you're buying or selling or doing both to achieve your real estate goals. So first, let's take a look at the numbers here. Right now, listings, again, this week compared to the same week in 2020 are down 17%. We don't want to see any drop in inventory because it's already low, which we'll talk about a little bit later. We'll explain why in a second, why that might be. Closings are down 21%, so that's overall 21% less activity than we saw the same week in 2020. So a drop in new listings, a drop in closings, that's generally bad news for the market. However, we're comparing this past week in this fall, which has been very normal. Typically from the summer to the fall, we see a drop off in the number of new listings and closings just because people are going back to school. A lot of people aren't moving right now just because it's colder and school is in session. So that's generally how the Cincinnati market goes in terms of real estate. But last year it was different because of COVID, where people were on the sidelines, not making a move in the spring and summer. They were trying to wait it out, not knowing that the COVID pandemic would go on for much longer. So once we got to fall and winter, people who had been waiting to move, that were motivated to do so, decided to go ahead and take action. So we actually saw a spike in new listings and closings and overall activity in the Cincinnati real estate market last fall and last winter, much more than usual. So we actually had a really hot market last year this time, whereas right now it's very normal. So that's why we're seeing big drops in new listings and closings. I don't think it's any reason to be alarmed whether you're a buyer or a seller. Just understand that these numbers are comparing right now to last year, which was very abnormal. Average sale price is up 12%. Again, that's also a reflection. The reason it's not higher than that is last year the market was pretty hot. However, we've seen anywhere from a stretch of 9% to 26% growth in average sale price week to week compared to the same time last year. The average is around 17% that we've been seeing, which is absolutely amazing for homeowners. It's very difficult for buyers to afford homes, especially if they're first-time buyers because of these rising prices, how quickly they've risen. But the silver lining for buyers, of course, has been historically low mortgage interest rates. We're hearing some news that may change here at the beginning of next year, and that may have some downward pressure on pricing and how quickly prices can rise. I don't think there's going to be a crash or anything drastic. I just think the rate at which home prices have been rising is not going to continue forever, especially as interest rates rise. And you can imagine as you rise interest rates and also sale prices, at a certain point buyers can't afford to make those monthly payments anymore. So that's going to put downward pressure on home prices. Average days on market is down 14%. So last year it was taking about 22 days to sell this time of year. Right now it's taking 18 days. So again, we had a hot market last year compared to where it was in the spring and the summer of 2020. Right now we're in a normal fall market where it's taking longer. It's taking 18 days to go from active to pending status compared to what it was earlier this year, which is more like single digits or maybe 10 days. So we have a little bit of a faster market right now compared to the same time last year, but it would be more drastic if 2020 was more of a normal fall than it was due to COVID. Inventory right now is at 2.26 months. That is total inventory, which accounts for active, coming soon, and pending listings. Now, pending are listings that have actually accepted an offer. They're under contract. They haven't closed yet, so they're still considered as part of total inventory. We actually have only 39% of 2.26 months is actually active or coming soon, which is the listings that buyers have to choose from. So buyers have less than 1 month of inventory to choose from. It's still a very tight market. As you can see, compared to last year, we're seeing that new listings are going down. Overall activity is down, which means buyer demand is down, again, which is normal for the fall season here. So now that you're up to speed on what's going on in the market, let's talk about what you can do right now as a buyer or a seller, or if you're doing both, to achieve your real estate goals here in the off season, again, the fall and the winter in the Cincinnati real estate market. First of all, if you're thinking about selling your home, maybe you've been on the sidelines for a while, you've been waiting for the right time to capitalize on the market. You're starting to hear that the market's a little bit slower than it was in the summer, which is normal for fall. You're not seeing the home prices increase as drastically as they have been, but you have to take a step back and think about the fact that Historically, this is still the best seller's market we've ever seen in Cincinnati or anywhere in the country. But we don't know what's going to happen with buyer demand due to interest rates changing. So if it's the right time for you to make a move, and if you need to sell your home in order to make that move, I would not recommend waiting until next year, next spring, where there's more buyers. Right now, you have fewer sellers to compete with, which is the silver lining for sellers right now. And we do know what the market is like right now, so we can predict your results a little bit better. However, because there is less activity, there's fewer buyers out there looking, you need to do a better job than what you would have done in the summer and the spring when there's tons of buyers desperately looking for houses. You need to make sure you're not just reaching the general public through Zillow and other search sites in the MLS. You need to make sure you're doing a premium level of marketing, not just reaching any buyers, but reaching the right buyers, those who would consider your home to be their dream home because of the features of your home matching their needs perfectly. So that's a very sophisticated marketing process that we implement for some of our clients who opt for that. We call it target marketing. You can learn more about how that works at patrickgrosser.com/sell. Basically, we look at all of the unique features of your home. We match them up through demographic research with the types of people who would be most interested in those features. And we reach those people proactively through advertising on social media and even direct mail if we feel like it's the right fit for that as well. So even if they're not actively searching on Zillow and other home sites, they're actually getting your listing in front of them so they can consider it, they can schedule a showing, they can write an offer. You want to make sure you're getting in front of the right people so that you're not only selling your home, but you're selling it quickly, and you're also selling it for top dollar because you're selling it to someone who actually really values the unique features of your home. Again, that process is called target marketing. Check out the educational video on how that works. See if it's a good fit for you at patrickgrosser.com/sell. Now, if you're thinking about buying a home, because there is less activity from buyers, there's fewer listings, but again, there's not as much competition from buyers, so it's actually a good time to be looking for a home, even if you're not ready to schedule showings or write offers or move in. Maybe your move is kind of a ways off. It's a good time to keep an eye on the market to see what's going on in case you can actually snag a good deal. There are some listings that have been trying to sell since the summer, so you may be able to get a deal on those. There are some people that are in a more urgent situation to sell their homes. They may have waited until next summer or spring if they could wait, but they need to move now. So it's a good time to keep an eye on the market, even if you're kind of in a just looking phase. In fact, we offer something called the just looking approach. Basically what that is we set up a custom search for you through the MLS, and we also plug you into our network of off-market opportunities. We do advertise for listings all the time, and we may be able to match you up with some sellers who are interested in selling off-market if the price is right, if the timing is right for their move. They'd rather not deal with the hassle of dealing with the open market and getting their house ready for showings, having a bunch of strangers come through their house. So if you're interested in keeping an eye on the market, you want a custom search, you want access to off-market opportunities so you don't have to compete with buyers as much as you do on the open market, check out our Just Looking approach, see how it works, see if it's a good fit for you. You can send us a message there. We'll tell you how to do that and how to get in touch with us at the end of the video. But check out the video, see how it works, and see if it's a good fit for you at patrickgrosser.com/justlooking. Now, if you're thinking about buying and selling at the same time, one of the hardest decisions is to figure out if you should buy first or sell first. And depending on which path you choose, how does the financing work? Maybe you're even trying to line everything up at the same time where you do back-to-back closing, one on the sale of your home, one on the purchase of your new home. Most people, regardless of which path they choose and with the logistics, how they work out, most people don't want to move out of their home until they move into their next home. And so that's difficult to do, especially if you have a big mortgage payment on your current home and you're trying to upgrade to a bigger home and you have an even bigger potential payment there. You may not be able to qualify for a mortgage loan because of debt to income ratios. Maybe you can afford to hold both mortgages for a while, but maybe the bank doesn't like those ratios and it's not going to give you a loan for your new home while still holding your current mortgage. So there are some traditional options you can explore, how to tap into the equity of your home, pay down some debts and make those ratios better, even tap some equity to put more cash down so you can qualify for a loan on a bigger home, get a higher approved maximum price. There's a lot of things you can do. There's also a new approach called the bridge solution. It's been very helpful for some of our clients where we can actually sell their home to an investor and they can stay in their home because they lease it back month to month. They can take their time to find their next home. They actually tap the equity in their home to pay off some debts, get their ratios better, get their credit score up, qualify for a better loan that's less expensive for them over time, and also more attractive to sellers that they're bidding on their next home. But also they can put themselves in a better position in a multiple offer situation where their offer is going to rise to the top because they're putting more money down. They have a more conventional loan. And also throughout this process, they don't have to rush and try to find whatever happens to be on the market right now because they're comfortable staying in their home. They don't have to move out into a temporary situation with family or friends or into an apartment. They move one time and they can still qualify for this financially because they've actually erased their mortgage debt and they've been able to tap equity to pay off other debts and trade up to a better financial situation for them. That's called the bridge solution. It's not a good fit for everybody, but if you are trying to move once, you're trying to upgrade from your current home, sell your current home, but not have to move twice, it's a really good opportunity. So check it out, learn more about that and all the other traditional options you can pursue to tap equity to qualify to buy your next home while still living in your current home, only moving one time. Learn more about all of those options at patrickgrosser.com/bridge. I hope this information is helpful to you. If you like this kind of information, you'd like to see more of it in the future, make sure you hit the like button regardless of which platform you're watching on. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of the videos that we put out and you're watching on Facebook, make sure you follow our business page and turn on notifications. It's not enough to just like the page, you actually have to turn on notifications to make sure you don't miss anything. Also, take a look through our timeline and playlist for previous videos that we put out and let us know if there's any topics that you'd like us to cover that we haven't covered yet, or if there's any questions you'd like answered in this video format, again, we haven't covered. Maybe it'd be helpful to you for us to address those questions and those topics. Go ahead and drop those in the comments for us. We'd love to educate you on those things, help you out as much as we can. And chances are there's other people that have those same questions, want us to cover those same topics here in our audience and our community so we can actually educate them as well. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you'd like to subscribe to our channel, we'll put a card up there. You can click on that. It's Patrick Grosser - Cincinnati Realtor. I'm Patrick Grosser. Thanks for watching.